try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine. From pain, it's a blessing, new focus, no guessing. Just hold an obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change you, can say no, free me.
Welcome, my fellow Americans, to another episode. I'm your host, Mike Jones. How's everybody been doing? A lot of craziness going on. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Some sad news. 2 months after being named honorary Secret Service agent, DJ Daniels, the 13-year-old living with brain and spinal cancer, has 3 new tumors. In 2018, DJ was given months to live, and he's still standing 7+ years later, 13 brain surgeries. He's definitely been beating all the odds. His dreams to be a law enforcement officer. He achieved his goal and more, being sworn in by more than 1,300 agencies, including the big one, the Secret Service agent, which took place during Donald Trump's joint address to Congress. And that's exactly when you've seen the true colors of the Democrats. They didn't stand, they didn't clap, it didn't even acknowledge. I mean, they didn't even stand for all the other victims that had been victims of illegal immigrants. I mean, I can get that if that's what you feel, but a 13-year-old boy. But yeah, I mean, just sad news. I had seen it and wanted to put out best wishes for DJ Daniels. Kid's obviously tough and have no other reason to believe he won't do amazing and pull through. We do got a short clip for you.
Because my mom bathes me. What you wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And then I started to act. I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we were speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "Nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Just a sad story. Kid's been through so much. And like I said, the Democrats didn't even acknowledge, stand, clap, nothing for this boy. And that leads us right into the next line of discussions. And it's all the illegal immigrant crime that is occurring. Uh, Donald Trump's been cracking down on anti-Semitism at Harvard and some of these other schools. And it's like, no matter what he does, everything that Donald Trump does is wrong when it comes to the left, the Democrats. If he likes milk, then milk's the devil to the Democrats. It's insane. But now we have a gentleman who decides he's gonna burn Jewish people. His goal, kill Zionists whom he hated, wishes them all dead. Now, mind you, he is an illegal. He came here on a work visa, I believe, with his family. I think he's got a wife and 4 or 5 kids. This man, Mohammed Solomon, 45, he's living here illegally on a work visa. And when it expired, he just never left. Same thing with his family. They were here on temporary visas, and they're now illegal too. And now he's up for hate crimes, crimes against at-risk adults, attempted murder, using incendiary during a felony. Apparently, he had this planned for a whole year. I mean, this took some thought. It wasn't just a spur of the moment thing. He's been planning this. ICE agents did end up picking his family up, and I've been hearing a lot of people being upset about this, but I don't see what the big thing is. I don't see what the big deal is. He should be picked up. His family should be picked up. They're here illegally too, and he's been planning this for a year. You're telling me none of them knew anything? So it said federal charge document states Solomon threw 2 lit Molotov cocktails at individuals participating in pro-Israel gathering near the courthouse. They were out there trying to bring awareness to the hostages still held by Hamas. And I mean, this guy had a makeshift flamethrower he made. He had a bin full of Molotovs. They found more in his car. 8 people were injured, ranging from 52 to 88, with 1 in critical condition. And as he was doing it, he's yelling "Free Palestine." And there's even some videos out there. And this has to stop. This has to stop. The violence. This is terrorism. And then, of course, it happens in Colorado, which is a sanctuary state. And the police chief there, he doesn't want to call it terrorism, but Kash Patel and the FBI, that's terrorism. I don't know what else it is. He was literally going after Jews, and from the stories I've heard, there was actually a Holocaust survivor there, and this is the stuff that's happening. They were peacefully out there just making it known that there's still hostages being held, and they're supporting those hostages. And then you get a crazy dingbat like this guy who plans this for over a year, learns how to make Molotovs online, stops and gets 87 octane gasoline, and he goes and tries to burn all these people alive. I don't know. And then on top of that, there was even talks that when they raided his house, there was USAID paperwork. I don't know. Awfully funny. USAID has a link to this. Dems are unable at all to this. The Dems are linked to this no matter what they want, and there ain't a damn thing they can do about it. It's sickening. And this is what the outcome is when 4 years of Joe Biden, who wasn't even mentally there, with people behind the scenes pulling strings and souping up the woke movement and all this crazy nonsense. The American people come first. I mean, and even when Doge and Donald Trump, they talked about USAID, and it's just a bunch of front. Very little of that money ever goes to actually help. It's always skirted away, put in a secret account or moved around, given to family members, given to whatever, but it doesn't usually go where it's supposed to. And this is just another example of being linked to USAID, the dems, the far left extremists. This is terrorism. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. This is terrorism. He was trying to cause a mass casualty event by burning people alive, which is in itself just despicable. This is just more evidence of the failure of the Biden administration failing to keep U.S. citizens safe with open borders and zero immigration enforcement. And these stories are everywhere. Let's check out this quick video. If it will pop up. Guess we're having some technical difficulties here. Please bear with me. There she is. Hello there.
First, let's head out west now to Boulder, Colorado, where the FBI is investigating what they are now calling a targeted terrorist attack.
Just stay away. Just stay away. He's right there. He's throwing Molotov cocktails right there.
That was the scene, and we now know we have a suspect in custody. They've identified him as 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Solomon. Authorities say it's too early to be able to release a motive right now, but 6 people we know were injured. The victims range.
I'll tell you his motive. His motive is he hates Jewish people, and he wanted to cause as much physical damage as possible. Thankfully, he wasn't able to use everything that he had prepared, but even that, he's still out here wishing harm, causing pain, anguish, and all kind of misery to families, and especially the Jewish families here. Like, they've been under fire with all the rallies and all the protests at the schools, and we had the couple, the 2 Jewish couples leaving a museum a week or 2 ago, and a man came up, shot them. Free Palestine. And it's like a downward spiral. It's not no end in sight. When is it going to stop? Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. This is getting out of control. It's just hard to believe there's people in our government that are okay with this, that would rather have a sanctuary city where there's a bunch of illegal criminals running around when they don't have to deal with it. These people are in their own little bubbles, in their own little gated communities, safe and sound, while us regular Americans are out here in the world doing what we do. And these people were just doing their protest and showing solidarity with the hostages, and this Jew-hating man comes out and tries to scorch them. It's absolutely disgusting. It's sickening, and this is a whole government type of thing. The whole government should be standing up for this to stop, to be working together to get this taken care of, because it's scary out there, man. The violence is getting out of control. I mean, it started with the Teslas. The Democrats were pushing violence on Elon, which that's a totally different story of what's going on with Elon and Donald Trump there. But it's, like I said, they didn't stand for the victims of illegal immigrants at the joint address to Congress, and it's just absolute sick. It's sick.
From ages of 67 years old to 88 years old. And witnesses say an assailant tossed Molotov cocktails into a crowd of demonstrators, as you're seeing right here at a busy pedestrian mall. So the attack took place at the Boulder Run for the Lives event, and organizers say it was a weekly gathering of Jewish community members in support of the hostages taken during the October 7th attacks in Israel in 2023. Again, the FBI director is investigating it as a targeted attack. The group, again, was advocating for the releases of the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza. We will continue to follow this developing story.
It just, it's starting to be absolutely grotesque. I mean, look at this guy. He's out there cool as hell. Oh, look at me. I got my shirt off. But he's got Molotovs in his hand. Like this. You just can't win. You can't win. And then you got and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. There's immigrants, illegals are killing, hurting, everything. Larisha Thompson, age 40, found unalive behind the wheel of her car from a gunshot an hour south of Charlotte and on May 2nd. Well, they ended up taking 6 people into custody, all illegal migrants from ages 21, 18, 17, 15, 14, and 13. Now, apparently, they were connected to other burglaries, and they were texting each other. Mission failed. This is Larissa Thompson took her life for no reason. For no reason. There was no reason for it to happen. Not even in the slightest. And then we also got 18-year-old Ava Moore. Her life was taken. She was kayaking at Grapeview Lake, and she was going to be an Air Force cadet, was struck by a jet ski operated by an illegal immigrant from Venezuela. She hit her, and then she ran, and her name was Dackerlyn Gonzalez, charged with manslaughter. She fled. She hit the lady, fled the scene, got in a vehicle with this gentleman, and they took off, actually hit another vehicle on their way out. But yeah, I just don't even know. I really don't. It's sad, and it just keeps on coming. It's one thing after another, one thing after another. I think we got a video for you on that, though. Let me check. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bear with me. There we go. There.
Memorial Day weekend is in custody. Texas game wardens and Grapevine police say Dackerlyn Alejandra Gonzalez was arrested just hours ago. Investigators say she is tied to the death of Ava Moore. The 18-year-old was kayaking at the time a jet ski hit and killed her on Sunday. Witnesses told police there were 2 women on the jet ski. One of them stayed, but the other left the scene with a man and hit another car as they were trying to leave.
And I'm sure this is just a few stories of probably thousands. It's more and more. You got anti-Semitism, you got terroristic actions, and then we have a Biden caused issue with illegal aliens in this country who are causing physical, mental, bodily harm to American citizens. And Democrats are okay with this. I never thought I'd see the day when it would be like this. But, it's scary out there. Everybody stay safe. Don't, obviously don't upend your lives, but just be aware, do your research, find out what's really going on. But these Democrats can't take the White House back here in a few years. They can't. We can't let that happen. We need to stick together, and because that woke crazy crap that they got spewing out of their mouth, it's no good. It's no good. I mean, you had Donald Trump telling Governor Newsom not to let the transgender boy compete in the championships, and he does it anyway. And Gavin Newsom had said that, oh yeah, I could see it's not really fair. But what they did is they made some kind of walk around law saying something along the lines of, if you get your spot taken by a transgender, then you'll automatically get pushed through to the championship. But then you're still going to get beat by the same transgender boy. It's a boy. Men are physically superior than women. And that's not being disrespectful. It's just the truth. And anybody who thinks it's okay for these, start your own league. Start a transgender track and field. Start a transgender. That's probably going to have enough people. So since you wouldn't have enough people to start your own little boy-girl competitions, let's ruin the girls. These girls work their asses off. They work, they build, they try to be the best they could be. So sometimes the families are involved helping train and get these girls to where their goals are, and just to have it crapped all over by a dude who wants to be a girl in a track meet. Has no business being there. It's just sickening. California, Colorado, these sanctuary states, it's disgusting. I never thought I'd see the day when I seen stuff like this. It's out of control. It really is. So in other news, I guess it was quite a few days back now, Ukraine and NATO authorized a coordinated sneak attack deep in Russia and caused over $1 billion worth of military equipment damage. And from what I was reading and watching, it says it looks like Ukraine and NATO want the war to continue. I mean, that's honestly what it looks like to me. Donald Trump's been pushing, hey, let's come to the table. We need you guys to come up with a ceasefire. He's been pushing really hard. And then goofy ass Zelensky decides this is the time to do. Come on, this war ain't gonna stop. It ain't. That situation's going downhill fast. It ain't stopping now. How you gonna expect Putin to try to stop? No, I wouldn't stop either now. And it's not shocking. They Europe and them, I know they probably expect the United States to be paying for. No, I don't think that's right. This is crazy. Zelensky came to the White Oval Office a couple months back. He was rude, disrespectful, and all Trump wants to do is get this to be done. Work, make a deal, and move on. And now there's been reports that Lindsey Graham and Dick Blumenthal were over in Ukraine when it happened. They were there 2 days and, racked up $400,000 in taxpayer dollars on hotel room. What else were they spending money on? What hotel cost $400,000 for 2 nights? Like, this is our money. And then you got Lindsey Graham over there. I don't know. It's fishy to me. I think the Department of Justice needs to look into Lindsey Graham, slap some handcuffs on him, and because I mean that's double his salary. He went over there, and from what I understand, Donald Trump wasn't aware. Pete Hegseth wasn't aware of the attack that was coming, and that they were going to pull on Russia. And something smells fishy. This isn't right. This looks like undermining the president, undermining his orders, undermining what his foreign policy is, and all this did was escalate everything because Russia apparently I didn't get the details of, but I did see an alert that said Russia had performed an air attack just not too long ago, but you knew they were going to retaliate. Russia wasn't just going to sit there when they caused billions of dollars in damage to their air force. From what I've been hearing, it was like 1/3 of their air force. And you don't just do something like that and expect to come to the table for ceasefire negotiations and talks, because I mean I don't know, Putin's not that guy. I thought it was going to be a tough ask to get these two to the table and end this war quickly as is, but everything Donald Trump's trying to do, everything, when it comes to our country, when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to tariffs, it's being undermined by the people in our country. Every time, they're going to put a stop on President Trump's tariffs, so they're going to do that. Or every time he's trying to get these illegal aliens out of our country that Joe Biden let in, who wasn't even aware of what was going on. And these courts are just taking over. Do we have a president? Because was under the assumption that the president made the big calls when they're the president. That's why the people elect him. I didn't realize that, we elect a guy to do what the people want him to do. We elected him for everything he talked about doing, and now we got to all deal with these out of touch, crazy, who knows what's wrong with these judges. It's just judicial tyranny. They're destroying our country. And they sit here and they want us, Donald Trump's going to destroy the country. He's a dictator. He's this, he's that. Well, it's kind of funny because I've only seen more negative stuff coming from the Democratic side. And I'm not saying Republicans are perfect, but from what I can tell, every single time something bad happens, there tends to be a Democrat in some way, shape, or form tied to it. And what do you know? Ukraine launches this brilliant attack. It was brilliant. They had snuck drones into barns in order to get there, and they sat, and apparently this was planned for up to 18 months. And so I mean, like, I give Ukraine credit. It was great. It was a good little sneak attack, but this isn't what needs to happen. This isn't what needs to be going on. And what the hell is Lindsey Graham's crooked, un-American ass doing over there, spending $400,000 of taxpayer money there while the attack happens? That seems a little fishy to me, people. I mean, I don't know what you personally feel. I don't know what you personally think, but that sounds absolutely, something's not right. I think Lindsey Graham, as soon as he landed back in here, should have had handcuffs slapped on him, and they should be going through all his bank account stuff, all his background, find out what is going on, because he's undermining Donald Trump. He's not, and that's not supposed to be happening. That's like treason or something, because You're literally undermining President Trump's foreign policy, just like they're interfering with Donald Trump's foreign policy over tariffs, his foreign policy over illegal aliens. They can't let the man do his job. I do have a short video for it, so we can maybe explain it a little better. Let me see my people. All right.
Ukraine landing a massive blow against Russia as officials are expected to meet for ceasefire talks in Turkey today. Ukrainian drones targeting 5 Russian airfields at least, striking at least 40-plus military aircraft, blowing them up in an assault that took more than a year to orchestrate. And by the way, we have reports at least.
If you're anywhere here.
Oh, hold on. Hold your horses. Sorry about that. There we go.
Bridges are blown up. Joining us now from Kyiv is former U.S.
Two
Ambassador
bridges.
to Ukraine, John Herbst, and the ambassador spent the last few nights in a bomb shelter. But can you put in perspective how devastating and how brilliant this attack was, called Operation Spiderweb?
This is a truly extraordinary operation, demonstrating, one, how vulnerable Russia is to measures against Russian aggression in Russia itself, and how adept the Ukrainians are at understanding and exploiting those vulnerabilities. This operation is on par for, you might say, brilliance with the Israeli operation against Hezbollah last year. Truly extraordinary.
So the Ukrainian used small FPV drones hidden inside wooden cabins mounted on trucks. When the trucks reached the targets, the roofs opened up by remote control and the drones launched. These are the bombers they're using to blow up these cities in Kyiv, ruthlessly killing civilians. And now they're blown up. This is amazing.
It's amazing. It will reduce Ukrainian civilian casualties. We know that many planes were hit. We don't know the extent of the damage. But A, some planes are now out of action. B, the Russians will have to move the planes they have farther away from the front, which means the planes they have will not be used as frequently. And this is also a great strategic benefit for the United States, because those planes that were destroyed, Tu-22s, Tu-95s, are in fact nuclear-capable planes. They are used for Russian nuclear weapons, which are first and foremost targeting the United States, or use against the United States. So we are safer from Russian nuclear strikes as a result of Ukraine's action.
I hope people realize that our money's being put to great use, and the fight we're doing against Russia helps America and helps the West. This cost $70,000. It did at least $7 billion worth of damage. They are more innovative, more resourceful, more motivated than the Russians, who throw nothing but bodies, and some of which are even North Korean bodies, at this attack. So what does this do to talks today?
Well, first, this undermines the false common wisdom that Russia would inevitably win this war. If the West continues to arm Ukraine,
yes,
and that means first and foremost the United States. It doesn't have to be a gift from the United States. It could be paid for by Europeans. It could be a loan. Russia will not win this war. And it's very much in American interest that Russia not win this war, because Russia's designs are against American interests. That's why the recent report put out by the Director for National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, identified Russia as a major adversary of the United States. So we need to provide the weapons to Ukraine. But also, the peace negotiations have gone.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should be supplying Ukraine with weapons? Do you think we should be helping Ukraine? I'm always for the little guy. I don't want Russia to win, obviously. I don't think Russia deserves a damn thing. They are our adversaries. But we've already spent billions of dollars for Ukraine. We have our own debt problems. Donald Trump's trying to rebuild the country. And like I said, there's something fishy about the whole situation. And I'm not a Russia fan. I don't like Russia. I'm an American. They're our adversary. I could care less about them. But when there's stuff trying to be done to create a peace and get the killing to stop, this is crazy. I mean, it was a brilliant attack. You got to give that.
Nowhere, because Putin believes that the United States will ultimately leave Ukraine in the lurch. He's counting on that. And that's why he's stalling. That's why he's preventing President Trump from achieving the durable peace via ceasefire that President Trump desperately wants. So Ukraine's blow yesterday is a blow in favor of Russia eventually accepting a ceasefire.
And Ambassador, don't diminish what's coming out of the Senate. Those are massive sanctions coming out of the Senate. It's got about at least 80 senators. It's veto-proof. And I think that Senator Lindsey Graham's going to be announcing something this week. And what you got to tell them is, $300 billion of frozen funds, you don't come to a deal in the next month. That's going to go right to Ukraine. And that's what you tell them. There's a timeline on patience. And Donald Trump took tremendous risk to give him an off-ramp, and he's refusing to take it. And he's going to pay the price for that. Ambassador, thanks so much for your courage being in the war zone. And thanks.
So, I look at it a little differently. Everybody has a difference in opinion. I'd rather not see war. I'd rather see peace. But I also understand that we can't allow Russia to win this war. So, I'm okay with that. It's just it's a little it's a little concerning. You don't want anything crazy to happen, but luckily we are over here, and that'll be Europe's problem first and foremost. So but yeah, I mean, it's just contradictory to what Donald Trump was trying to accomplish, and settle things down, stop the killing, create a peace that will last, and calm everything down. No more wars. And he's been working really hard to get that. And I don't know what's going to come of the Lindsey Graham situation. I'm gonna look more into that, see what happens there. But it just gets tiring to see these things. I mean, that was a good attack. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's pretty badass. Good for them. I don't know. How do you guys feel? What do you think? You think should we be supporting Ukraine? Should we be throwing more taxpayer dollars at Ukraine to take Russia out? I mean, honestly, I think we should make Europe do it. I mean, we spent a lot of money to support Ukraine. Joe Biden was just pretty much giving them blank checks, and but at the same time, he was letting illegals in and creating more issues for the American people when it comes to these illegals would come over and they get health care, they get food stamps, they get money to survive. Like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure those programs are set up for Americans, and what's important is the Democrats want to bitch, moan, cry, complain, and they're going to take your Medicaid, they're going to take your Social Security, which isn't the truth. It's not what the truth of the matter is, but they sit here and they complain that, Donald Trump's doing this and Donald Trump's doing that. It's going to be your Medicaid, your Social Security, when the Democrats were the ones on Biden's side letting the illegals in. If you never let them in, they wouldn't be overwhelming our system, and that is going to be what eventually takes our Medicaid and all that stuff out, is all these illegals that were on it. So hopefully we get them off, and it's just going to reassure the system, and your Medicaid and Social Security is there for the people that truly need it. I was just reading, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going at it. Elon's not happy with the big, beautiful bill, and they're going back and forth. And it's like, breaking news, Donald Trump shows up at Elon Musk's house and keys his Teslas. Like, this is crazy. Like, they're going back and forth. I do have a short video I'll play for you. Close this up. Close this episode up. But yeah, like, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, best buds, and Elon's time has gone, and now all of a sudden he wants to start acting crazy, making accusations of oh, the Epstein list won't be released because Donald Trump is in it, and all this craziness. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not saying he's not in it. I'm not saying he is. But, you know, I don't know. Let's check out the
Follow
news.
another breaking news story. The war of words still ramping up between President Trump and Elon Musk, the two of them going back and forth. President Trump making some statements earlier today from the Oval Office stating that Elon Musk is upset and he isn't sure exactly where the relationship stands, stating that Elon Musk was, quote, wearing thin in his social media post. Well, now, not surprisingly, Elon Musk now taking to X to share even more thoughts. And I wanted to share the very latest as this continues to be a back and forth right here. The very latest comment from Elon Musk is time to drop the really big bomb. President Trump at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. And
what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Now, I'm not saying that Donald Trump's name doesn't show up in the Epstein files, but from what I heard, watching some videos earlier, was Epstein would go to Mar-a-Lago from time to time, and apparently as soon as Donald Trump heard anything, he heard something about Epstein Lake's little girls, and he Donald Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago. So I think that Elon's pissed because he believes that all the work he and Doge put in to cut so much waste and fraud is just getting thrown away with this big, beautiful bill, because it's going to raise the debt ceiling. It's, it's going to put us in bigger debt to a certain extent. But I mean, Joe Biden added like $8 trillion to our debt in his 4 years. So I don't understand Elon getting frustrated. I mean, I can understand him getting frustrated, but I don't understand his view of just attacking Donald Trump. Like, is he trying to be a Democrat again? Is he trying to be friends with Democrats? Is he doing this just so he can try to gain people's trust back so his companies do better again? It's really kind of has me a little flabbergasted.
Earlier on in the Oval Office, President Trump foreshadowing perhaps these comments getting personal, because before President Trump did state that up until that point, when he made those previous comments, that Elon Musk did not speak about him negatively personally, but expecting that. And I wanted to share that with you right here as I pull up the exact tweet right here. But I did want to share that with you as we continue to follow this breaking news, as President Trump and Elon Musk continuing to square off and really just getting ugly with some of these comments that we are seeing from them right here. But before that, we did share this with you. This is something that President Trump has stated prior to this particular comment from Elon Musk, saying Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. So the latest comment, once again.
I mean, this is what you get. I don't know if this is as big a deal as everybody's trying to make it out to be. You got two alpha males, which were good buddies, and now Elon's not happy with Donald Trump's big bill, and he's literally coming out attacking Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump's not going to just roll over and let you sit there and talk to him. I think Donald Trump's been pretty nice about it, hasn't really went too far, hasn't said too much. But Elon, man, he just going a little crazy. Maybe he's been sniffing the super glue or something.
from Elon Musk is he is taking off the gloves right there, saying, quote, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. So no doubt we are going to be hearing from President Trump as he doesn't take personal attacks lightly and not known to back off. In fact, President Trump usually takes to social media to.
And that's exactly what Donald Trump has been doing. He's not going to lay down. I wouldn't lay down. We don't want our president to lay down. And who is Elon Musk? He's the richest guy. He's really smart. I appreciate everything he did for Doge, for the U.S. of A. I'm a little disappointed. I thought they were going to find some more money. I thought they were going to be able to save us more. But who knows? This is like a soap opera. It's like Days of Our Lives, you know. It was only a matter of time before we had some kind of issue with Donald Trump and somebody, and I didn't see the Elon thing coming. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I'm used to Democrats having issues like Jasmine Racist Crockett and Adam Watermelon Head and AOC and Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer's crazy ass. Oh, we agree. Now they want to agree with Elon. We agree with Elon. He's telling you the truth about this bill. But that's all nonsense. The Democrats are only saying that because they want to spend more money in the bill. They're not trying to save money. The Democrats are trying to spend more money, and they don't care. But the thing is, Donald Trump gets the idea that if we keep spending too much money, I mean, eventually our country's going to go bankrupt. Our dollar's going to be worth jack diddly squat, and we ain't going to be the America so greatly looked at. So, you know, we're still only 6 months into President Trump's second term. Hopefully we start to see some legit actions. We need Congress and Republicans to get together. We need to codify some of these cuts and some of the Doge cuts, and we need to get some of these bills passed. I think Trump's only signed 5 or 6 bills so far, which that's not really a whole lot. So the Republicans need to get their head out of their ass, and, you know, we need to get out there and they need to get some of these bills pushed through, make some of this stuff more permanent, because, you know, honestly, if Democrats ever did take the House again, it's just going to go away, and it's going to go back to the same thing. Who knows? They'll probably revitalize wokeism, and then the next thing you know, we're walking around with a bunch of transgender people beating on women in sports. And why? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to even talk about because there's just so much crazy stuff going on. You know, I never thought it would be like this. I never thought we'd have. I don't know. I definitely didn't think this woke crap would turn into what it did. I wasn't expecting to have to sit here and worry about terrorists who came across our border, whether it be on visas or whether it be illegally from the get-go. But how many terrorists do we have in our country? How many people do we have that hate our country that were let in by the Biden administration? How many? Because you don't know. And then sometimes you won't even know if certain people are here because they get across and don't get caught. And the Democrats are fighting for these people. And that's a scary thought. You know, it's some worrying times. I have good faith. I have good, you know, I pray for the good stuff. That's what we can do. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. It's been a little kind of crazy. Like I said, send wishes to DJ Daniels. Like I said, he's got 3 more tumors, and I mean, the kid's been through a hell of a lot. Strong kid. Wish him and his family the best. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments what you think about the Ukraine attack on Russia. Let me know what you think about Elon and Donald Trump going at it. And, you know, you don't have to let me know what you think about innocent Americans being killed by illegals. I kind of would assume you're on the American side with that one. So, but if you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. Please remember, hit that like button, share, subscribe. It helps. It helps. Let me know in the comments if you make it to the end of the video. I'll send you a shout out or something. But until next time, you know, stay safe. Be vigilant. Don't be an antagonizer, and, you know, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Hopefully some good things will be coming our way. And what do you guys oh, that's another thing. I want to know what you guys think about the big beautiful bill. What's your opinion on it? What do you think about it? You think it's gonna be good, positive, negative? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I'm your host, Mike Jones. This is my fellow Americans. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and be safe. God bless you. God bless America. I'm out. Deuces.